Hello, everybody. Get
Hello,
in here, get in here, get in here. Okay, we on.
hello,
Hey, Travian, how you doing?
hey Laverne, how are you?
Girl, you look like you rolling, you
I
riding.
am all over everywhere today. It's my birthday, so I
Happy
am.
birthday. Hey, y'all, we gonna sing happy birthday to Travian, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Travian. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Yes, yes. What a blessing.
moving
What a
around.
blessing it is to be in the land of the living today.
Amen.
And we gonna mosey
Facials. I
on.
have on no makeup. I've been getting facials and treatments all morning. I'm on my way to more treatments, so I'm just trying to enjoy this day.
Listen, when you get to be our age, right? You supposed to learn how to pamper yourself, how to love yourself, how to treat yourself good, and how to take care of yourself. It's only one you. I don't care if you have a twin. It's still I don't even care if you have a triplet. It's still only one you. You know, you supposed to take care of yourself. You should not neglect yourself for anybody else.
Ever.
Always take care of yourself because in this day and age, a lot of people they put other people first, and a lot of times, some people that they put first don't even give a shit about them. You
At
know,
all.
they don't even come visit them. They don't even check on them. They don't even call you. So when
At
people do
all.
that, those are all the signs that they really don't give a flying fuck. So
At all.
why are you so busy putting yourself on the back burner just to take care of everybody else that have zero fucks to give? They have zero fucks to actually give. So we're gonna go ahead and start the show. And I know we supposed to have some special guests, and I don't know where our guests are. And I guess Travion gonna be coming back. Um, and so we're gonna roll right on along. I'm waiting on Jake to come into the room. Jake, are you here? Travian, are you here? I guess not, but anyway, they'll be popping in. But anyway, I'm gonna roll right along with you all. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining in today. Oh, there she's back.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
moving.
y'all.
When I say I'm moving around, I am really moving around.
Okay. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the Hood Conservative Show. And it doesn't matter where you're from. Give us a shout out. Let us know from what neck of the woods are you watching. Thank you, Nora. You know, Nora, you are always one of our biggest supporters. And I see
Hey,
Fernando in the
Nora.
room. And thank you. Y'all give us a shout out. Let us know you're in the room. But I'm gonna move right along, because there's so many things going on dealing with politics. Travion, I also saw that you had retweeted a lot. I mean, you had did a lot of posts that was very interesting as well.
Yes,
But
best birthday,
one
best
thing that I
birthday
want
present ever.
to
Because
okay.
Fannie Willis has now been ordered by a judge to testify about her maliciously prosecutorial RICO, which means I'm going to be in the courtroom again while she sits on the stand having to fess up on everything that she did to try and obstruct Trump from being in office. The $250,000 that I spent in legal fees, trust me, I'm going to put her to the test. I'm going to make sure there's a lawsuit not only against her, but also Fulton County. This is going to be the best entertainment show that you all have seen in a long time because the judge is now asking her about her relationships with Nathan Wade that
Nathan.
she must actually give a testimony to how she prosecuted the case, where she got the information from, did she work with the Department of Justice? All of this is going to be public. It's going to be the best sideshow circus we have seen in a long time, and I will be there front and center because it's just. I've waited so long for this day. The tables have turned. God is good, and we will be prosecuting Fannie Willis.
Amen. And she's gonna have a lot to answer for. She A lot.
I'm submitting evidence. Actually, there was supposed to be a congressional hearing, and she evaded that as well. So there's going to be a lot that she will have to account for. Also, the documents that she was supposed to submit to Tom Fitton. All of this is now being demanded by the court. She cannot run any longer. So it's just amazing moment to be alive, especially in my case.
Absolutely. You can run, Fanny, but you can't hide. And we all are waiting.
So we will
We
we will see.
all are waiting. So we're gonna move right on along. And I was thinking that, it really was quite interesting, right? How nobody had too much shit to say about the men and women's sports. Women was getting their heads bashed in, their brains bashed in, uh, all beaten up in these sports. Nobody had too much or nothing to say about that, right?
Right.
Then what about the beauty pageants? What about all the men that was in the beauty pageants? And what they were winning. They was actually winning in the women's beauty pageant. Now, one big fat one was standing up there looking like a whole grizzly bear. He had a hairy ass chest, damn near a beard and everything. And he won the beauty competition. And then they had the nerve to put on the article, I bet you can't tell which one is the man. Well, who in the fuck could actually miss him? Because, like I said, Ray Charles could have saw that. Stevie Wonder could have saw that. Anybody could have saw that, right? Then they had nothing to say about men being in the women's bathroom. Okay, they didn't have a problem with that
At all.
at all. But anything that Trump says, anything that he does, anything his staff does, they have a whole problem with. A whole problem with, right? They didn't have a problem when Tampon Timmy wanted to put those tampons in the boys' bathroom, right? Nobody had shit to say. Nobody complained about it. Nobody, say anything about why the boys don't need no damn tampons in their bathroom. Nobody said shit, right? And then what about the billions that went to Ukraine? What about
Exactly.
the billions of dollars that went to Ukraine, right? But when Trump and Elon went and uncovered all this wasteful spending that has been going on, now the whole country is in an uproar about it.
Every day. Every day. It doesn't matter what Trump does. Everybody's going to be upset. So it doesn't matter what he does. It really just doesn't matter.
Nobody, nobody had nothing to say when Biden was fucking up shit. Nobody had anything to say. And then when Biden was doing the interviews, he's sniffing the kid's head. Nobody asked questions. Nobody said nothing. But Trump cannot do nothing without being ridiculed, without everybody having something to say about it and how much they dislike this and they dislike that. But where in the hell was they at when all this other stuff was going on and taking place? Where?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
Well, we're soon to find out because if this, part one, phase one of these Epstein files and all of these things are actually just not recanted and blacked out, and the information is real and true, we're going to find out a lot of things. A lot.
Absolutely. We can't hear it, G. G, we couldn't hear anything. Well, anyway, we're gonna move right on because I
Yes.
couldn't hear
I
anything.
couldn't hear the clip either.
In other news, I also saw.
What'd you
Okay.
see? What did you see?
Okay. Anyway, I also saw that the pastor had died, Pastor Thaddeus. Oh man, you know,
Did he die?
SIP. Yes. And G, I sent the clip from the cussing pastor that I want you to play. Hello, G. Are you there? Well, anyway, I love the cussing pastor. Okay, because he keep it real. That's not the cussing pastor. But go ahead on and play that one.
Dumb when she was hanging out with that racist? Was Whoopi Goldberg dumb when she was hanging out with that racist? So when did he become a racist? When they told you he was. Was he a racist? And was he a problem for Hillary Clinton when he stood up at Chelsea Clinton's wedding? When he was golfing with Bill Clinton for years? Make it make sense. Oh, and again, this is not me advocating for Donald Trump, but I need to give you an example that you cannot argue. People are upset because Donald Trump's a racist because he took out an $85,000 ad in the newspapers against the Exonerated Five, formerly known as the Central Park Five, right? That's a problem. That's problematic because he said they needed to get the death penalty. You know what everybody leaves out of that conversation? Two things. The first is all we had was the information that was being presented to us on the news
at the time.
And at the time, all that information said that we got them. We got these kids. They ain't say nothing about rounding them up or how they rounded them up or this, that, and the third. They set up there and they present. Go look at forget me. Go look at Ava DuVernay's Netflix movie. Go look at all the documentaries made about these guys. Now, here's the gag. At the time when Donald Trump did that, he was a registered Democrat. Not only that, he was a private citizen. Not only that, the district attorney, the assistant district attorney, the chief of police, the mayor, all of them happen to be Democrats. But that didn't stop anybody from dealing with the fact that they paraded them brothers up on that stage at the DNC in 2024 like, oh, Donald Trump's the problem. Oh, but I didn't hear any of them issue an apology for what they did to railroad those boys for a decade and some change. How does that make sense? Matter of fact, one of the assistant prosecutor is still a huge donator, a huge donor to the Democratic National Convention, Democratic National Committee. So I'm trying to understand how that makes sense. And then, by the way, where's all your smoke for these corporations that were buying $1 million suites at the DNC?
Okay. He has a lot of facts. You know, I don't think that was started from the beginning. I don't think it was started from the beginning. But like he was saying, you know, in the beginning, before Trump ran for office, he had so much support from the Black community. Whether it was Al Sharpton, whether it was Jesse Jackson, all of them support rappers. Every rapper had a song about Trump. Okay?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, when he decided to run for president, all of that love and support turned to anger and hate. So what
It
in
was
the
all an
hell
agenda.
happened?
They don't hate Donald Trump. It was just an agenda, and they're getting paid to push an agenda. You know, you've got right now federal workers that are gathering to express their grievances and why they've been fired. At this point, we just need to clean up everything. As we've seen trillions of dollars go to foreign entities and agendas that we truly didn't know about, but definitely don't believe in. So why is it that anybody is upset? If we need to clean the swamp out, we got to clean up Washington first. So I don't care what happens. There's going to be some fallout, no problem, but we got to clean it up. We can recover. There's no question about it. None.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. You know, this man just got in. I mean, he's been in maybe like 2 months now. So why in the hell is everything his fault? What
It's
about
not even 2 months. It's 30.
it's not
It's
okay, it haven't
40.
even been 2 months. But what about people like Joe Biden that's been in office for 47 damn years? What about all
Exactly.
the rest of them that have been in these seats for years?
Exactly. Well, we're cleaning
Nobody
it
had
up.
nothing to say.
Joe Biden didn't pardon himself, so there's still going to be some fallout there.
Absolutely. I agree.
You have another clip?
Yeah. G, do you have another clip? G. Oh, there he is.
So one of you able-bodied Section 8 weave-wearing career welfare recipients got mad enough last night at my show on food stamps that you reported my church page to Facebook, and they took me down for 3 days on Facebook. But I don't give a shit, because tonight is going to be off the fucking chain right here on Instagram and on the Thaddeus Matthews YouTube channel, when my subject will be stop looking for a handout. It ain't nobody's responsibility to take care of your children but you. We're tired of you able-bodied women laying on your ass and the government and us good tax-paying, hard-working folk having to take care of your babies. So tonight, stop looking for the damn handout. It ain't nobody's responsibility to feed your babies but you. You join me at 7 p.m. Central here on Instagram or on the Thaddeus Matthews YouTube channel. It's going to be off the fucking chain.
Absolutely love that pastor because he keeps it real. He don't cut around, he don't beat around the bushes, he don't skip across the field. He just let it rip just the way it is. And I think that that's one of the problems today. Also, that people hold so much in. They hold a lot in. They hold a lot of anger in. Hi, Jake. They hold a lot of anger in. They got things that they want to tell people, but they are so afraid how that other person is going to take it. And I feel like this: if you have something to say, just say it. Why the fuck you keep holding it in? And then all of a sudden you blow the fuck up, and everybody looking at you like, what the fuck wrong with that bitch? Instead of just saying whatever it is that you got to say, just say it. Maybe you wouldn't say it the way I would say it, you know, but find a way to say what is on your mind and get it off of your chest. Some people hold grudges for 20 and 30 damn years. They mad with a bitch. Don't nobody know why in the fuck they mad but them. But the point is, get it off of your chest so you could go ahead and live a happy or as happy as you can damn get. Because some people some miserable old ass bitches. And I know a lot of them. Okay? So this is the thing. Get that shit off of your chest. Say what you need to say and stop holding shit back. And you'll be a much happier person. I promise you. You will be so happy if you stop. Oh, I want to say this, but I'm so afraid who I'm gonna offend. Fuck that, bitch. Say what you gotta say. Stop holding the fuck back. And I believe that caused a lot of health issues also. You know, because you holding that shit back. It has an effect on your body. Let it go. Let it go. Say what you gotta say. And like I said, maybe you wouldn't say it like me. Just get up your fucking nerves. Go practice in the fucking mirror. Talk to a damn tree in your yard. Do what you gotta do to just release that pressure and get that shit off of your chest. You think I'm gonna walk around all day holding some shit that I want to tell a bitch? No, I'm not gonna do that. They gonna get it. And they gonna get it. They gonna know how I feel, and it depends on how I want to say it. If I'm upset with Travian, I could say, Travian, I got a little something. Okay, you can't hear. You may need to go out and come back in.
I can hear you, Laverne. You're
Okay,
you're, you're
okay,
speaking the
go
truth,
out and come
sweetheart.
back in. Go out and come back in. So, this is the thing. Maybe I'm upset with Jake. With Jake, I have a little problem. And I would like to discuss it with you. I'm really not so happy about how you always tell me you're going to call me, you don't call me, or whatever. I'm just saying. It's a way to say it and then give him a chance to address you and say, well, I didn't know you felt that way. Or I didn't know that was a problem. Instead of you know, you holding it in for months and months, and then all of a sudden, I see Jake, and Jake, he looking like, well, what in the hell is wrong with her? Because that's
Well,
what
we know
we.
sunlight's the best disinfectant. Once you get it out in the open and let the air hit it, is always going to give some cleanse, some cleansing power to it. But thanks for having me on, Laverne. Great to see you. Nice to meet your
Good to see
friend.
you too, Jake. Good
I'm
to
Shadi
see
and
you,
Jake.
my
Pleasure to
brother.
meet you.
Good to
God
see
bless you.
you.
Nice to meet you. What an exciting week coming back from CPAC. Laverne, did you see the way that those rhinos treated me and the Jan Sixers at
Oh
CPAC?
man,
How
I just
disgraceful.
I just could not believe that, Jake. If y'all don't know, I didn't enter. This is Jake Lang. He was one of the J Sixers. He attended CPAC last week,
Yeah, last week we
and
bought a booth at CPAC and 22 tickets for all my Jan 6 brothers.
wow,
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and they didn't, they let us fly all the way out there, change all of our plans. This is my first time actually, I'm a United States Senate candidate in the great state of Florida there. This
Let's
was my first time, coming out into the public, being released from prison just 37 days ago today. But, last week it was less than a month ago. And, being able to touch the people, feel, interact with my brothers and sisters, the people I suffered with. And CPAC tried to rob that from us. And, I think they actually ended up making a huge fool of themselves and exposing themselves for the rhinos and the, uniparty hacks that they are. So I don't think it actually ended up. I mean, I do feel in many ways embarrassed and humiliated being escorted out by the police from a conservative, event and,
event. Yeah.
organization. We should have been honored there. We should have been commended there. There should have been a welcoming party for us, instead of this, just disgusting treatment we got. But I think that they probably ended up embarrassing themselves more than they embarrassed us.
It was
and
a huge
maybe
story.
G could even find that clip so that we could show that clip. When you think about patriots and people that are out here really fighting for this country are really taking a lot of heat now because they want to call all of us are considered to be racist, extremists, all type of names they want to label us as. Okay, there it is. Can you play the clip,
There it
G?
Yeah.
is.
Right now. My name's Jake Lang. This is Cynthia from CPAC. She's one of the managers here. They're telling me right now I am not allowed to stay at CPAC. They are kicking January Sixers out of CPAC live. We are right now live on the Gateway Pundit on Blessed News. This is Cynthia right here. This woman is telling me that my credentials have been removed. I did 900 days of solitary confinement. I was just released from the DC Gulag 29 days ago with a presidential pardon, and you're removing my credentials from CPAC after I just bought a booth. 22 tickets I bought for all my Jan 6 brothers. This is abhorrent. This is horrible. We should not be being treated like this.
And
You're
so,
absolutely right, Jay. And one of the main things is truly fucked up. That's what it was. It was truly fucked up that you come to an event and it's a conservative event, which should have been one of the main places that you should have felt at home and felt welcome because it's all patriots there, all patriots that are supposed to be there, right? And instead, you was turning away at the door. This
and
Yeah.
then,
is
so
just
is it
ridiculous.
true that they escorted you out and then brought you back in for a photo op and then removed you again?
So no, because I had a booth there before like the official registration, you're allowed to go in and like set up your booth and stuff, and nobody's checking IDs and anything. So I was inside early Wednesday, setting up my booth. We bought, hundreds of t-shirts, spent thousands of dollars on the booth, podcasting equipment, electricity, Wi-Fi. We had to set all this stuff up. And when it was time to actually go and get the actual official, neck badges and the
Right.
passes that they give you, I went and I was like, hey guys, this is my second year here. Last year I was in prison and I bought a booth for my Jan 6, volunteers for the January 6th legal fund that I orchestrate. Yeah, I mean, look at this. And they came to me and said, "Oh, you're Jake Lang. Well, your credentials have just been revoked. So your booth can stay, all your guests can stay, but you have to leave." And I said, this is ridiculous. I said, I just got out of prison. And you can hear me in this clip here. I'm asking him who made the decision. And why was that decision made? And can I speak to that person to get a better understanding? And then the nerve of Matt Schlapp, who is the chairman of CPAC, he came to my booth the next day, and one of my volunteers caught him on a hot mic, and he was whining and complaining because, you know, millions of people were watching this stream, and the video went everywhere. And he was complaining, Jake never asked for me. He never tried to call me. If he wanted to reach out, I'd buy him a cup of coffee and, you know, we'll figure this out. And then again the next day. So Wednesday we were kicked out, escorted out by security. You can see here, you know, my numbers available, my emails available. He still has never reached out. I reached out to the people I booked the booth through. Nobody's gotten back to me about refunds or anything. And so, you know, these people, they're lying. He's lying through his teeth here when he says, you know, he's available and he wants to refund the booth and he wants to make sure, you know, everybody's taken care of. And so Wednesday, I got kicked out. We heard through the grapevine that Thursday they were going to invite back me, Enrique Tario, the founder of the Proud Boys, who's here in Miami, and also Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers. So we all went back on Thursday. They let Enrique and Stuart in, but they still kicked me out on live stream again a second time. This time they had the police escort us out. And one of my close buddies, because I had like a brigade of like 50 Jan Sixers with me, all standing beside me, and we all left together. And this time they also took one of the youngest Jan Sixer. He was 18 years old on January 6th. And they physically assaulted him and like twisted his arm behind his back and literally kicked him and pushed him out the door. And so we were treated like animals. It was just, but the thing at the end of the day, you know, sometimes God lets our enemies reveal their hand so that, that they expose themselves. And so while, you know, obviously it was hurtful not to be there and I wasn't able to make the contacts and connections I wanted to and, you know, get the full value out of CPAC, at the end of the day, the rhinos and the establishment, you know, old Republican Party of like, you know, George W. Bush and Mitch McConnell and, you know, all these people. Yeah, look at this. That's me right there, them escorting me out. I didn't even see, actually, I didn't even see this clip. I like this clip. This is a new angle. I'm going to have to look up that person there. Julian Conradson. But yes, you know, sometimes God lets our enemies expose their hand, and truly CPAC is now, I guess, universally recognized, as it has been for a while, as like the Rhino convention for, you know, not the MAGA movement, not the Trump movement, but really like the old Republican Party, the old country club of like kind of the uniparty. So they've exposed themselves, and you know, I won't be going back next year ever supporting them again. And I don't think that, you know, President Trump should be speaking there ever again, or anybody that considers themselves a patriot. Look how they treated, you know, American heroes, political prisoners that had, you know, I went through 4 years and 6 days in the gulag for this country, only to be, you know, treated like an animal by CPAC. So I'm very unfortunate, but God has exposed our enemies again.
It's totally unbelievable that
CPAC has
they
never been one of my events that I would venture to attend. I've, you know, done AmFest and some others, but CPAC is just the agenda on CPAC. I don't agree with a lot of what they do. I think CPAC has become um, a biased pay. I think they have a bunch of APAC um, situations. Can you hear us, Jake, or you can't hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm asking my fiance to look up that video that you guys just showed us, because I'm going to be posting it later and going and grilling some rhinos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner again.
Good, get at them.
Thank you.
But
also
CPAC has never
saw,
been one of the events that I
not you,
attended.
but G, I also saw that they did have that clip of him talking to Matt when because he did come and talk to you, right, Jake?
He went to my booth because obviously I wasn't there. I was back at my
Mm-hmm.
Airbnb that I bought for 15
Okay.
of the Jan Sixers to stay at. So he was actually talking to one of our volunteers about me and saying, you know, that he wanted to make amends. He wanted to buy me a cup of coffee and refund the booth. But none of those things have happened. I've reached out to multiple people that are, you know, one step removed from him. You know, I'm a public figure myself. He could just DM me on Twitter, you know, and or reach out to me through any one of my surrogates. But nobody has. In fact, some of the other event organizers at CPAC had reached out to my media partners to try to break down my relationships and say shame on Jake for making a scene at CPAC. I flew across the country as well as dozens of other Jan Sixers to be there, not to be humiliated, but to be able to finally be human beings again. I did over 900 days of solitary confinement, just me, and a wall like this, just me staring at a wall. Now it's my opportunity to, touch and feel and be a part of my community and the American people. And they tried to rob that from me. And that's really what obsessed me. Getting kicked out of an event or being not welcomed is nothing. I mean, who cares about that? But this was like my first time back alive and vibrant. And I just wanted to be a part, of this community that I fought so, vigorously for many years. But God's gonna, I think more opportunities are gonna open because of this than, in spite of it. So just watch him work. He works well.
I just want to let you know you are a very important part of this community, and we honor you. We respect you. I will make no apologies for what happened at that event, but as you said, a lot of things got exposed. 900 plus days in solitary confinement. You are mentally strong. You are psychologically strong. You are physically strong. No one can take that from you. Most people would not be able to survive such torment. Solitary confinement is a big deal. And the fact that you, because you were in DC on January 6th, you were subjugated to that. I just want to tell you, I respect you. I honor you. And there are so many of us who do. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a blessing, and at the end of the day, we know the American people, how they feel about us. I mean, we showed up in droves to get Donald Trump elected, for one of his primary campaign promises. He had 3 promises he told on day one. He's going to drill, baby, drill, close the border, and free the Jan Sixers. And so, we know the president loves us. We know the American people love us, but we also know that conservative Inc. And the deep state, especially the Rhino, the compromised part of the Republican Party, which is a large part. I mean, look at most of our United States senators, including right now. Mitch McConnell's no longer the Senate leader for the Republicans. We have a man by the name Thune, and if you do a deep dive on Thune, he has been horrible. So he when it came to January 6th, he said it was an insurrection. It was a horrible day in American history. And, we should all condemn it. But when it came to the Black Lives Matter riots, he was saying that the police need to stand down, that they need to take a knee and, and grieve with this community. And say what you want, but he's shown himself not to be, make America great again, conservative backing Donald Trump. He's shown himself to hate the Jan Sixers and love, these leftist extremists, Antifa, Hamas, BLM. That's who he, would rather support and say that those people need to, be respected as heroes, and the Jan Sixers are, some type of violent domestic terrorists. So, right now, even as we speak right now, there is still, even though we won 2024 and President Trump is, at the helm leading this country to great things, we still have a huge reclamation that we need to do in our country for our representative branch of government. The House of Representatives and the Senate House are completely tainted. There are just a few firebrands that really represent, the will of the patriotic, make America great again branch of, this country, which I believe is, 90% of Republicans that are registered out there in the real world are Trump supporters. And, they love to see this constitutionalist, love of liberty instead of this compromised Rhino stuff. So we need to, get better center leadership. We need to get, and that's why I'm running for United States Senate, because I want to be kind of like the new young firebrand that sets the precedent that the old era of Mitch McConnell, weak-kneed, feckless leadership of the
Lindsey
Republican
Graham,
Party
all of them,
has to
yes.
go.
Which district? Which district in Florida?
So I'm running for senator of the federal Senate in the United States,
The United
to
US
replace
Senate.
Marco
Okay,
Rubio.
great. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So it's a whole state of Florida can vote for me.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Well,
Jake, someone said, did you ever straighten it out? It was Margaret. They said, did you ever straighten it out? And this is horrible.
No, we never straightened it out. Like I said, they claimed that they were going to refund us. They claimed that they wanted to reach out, have a cup of coffee, go about this like human beings instead of, just throwing us out like trash on the side of the street. But all those promises have been undelivered upon. And actually, I have my legal team looking into a large defamation suit against CPAC for, this obvious. I'm a current United States Senate candidate. My donors and the people who support me want to see me, accepted in the conservative community, because that is, as far as fundraising and, the conservative movement goes, CPAC, is a large fundraiser that helps candidates get elected. And so they've done irreparable harm to, my reputation as a candidate by being, thrown out of there. Kind of like, if people didn't know my story, know I was a Jan Sixer, and if I didn't live stream what happened so that I could have got my side of the story out, you know what I mean? I would have probably been considered like a black sheep candidate now, somebody that is too controversial, irreproachable, or something like that, to support. So, we're going to be looking into legal recourse. There's a lot of lawsuits to file, including Federal Watchdog. My new organization has a $50 billion lawsuit that we are, putting together now on behalf of 1,000 January Sixers against the Department of Justice for our wrongful incarceration. So I have some big fish on the line, and little small fish CPAC here. I'll reel them in when I have the opportunity, but my eyes are on the prize to get accountability and to get restitution for my Jan 6 brothers right now.
That's awesome. Well, just to let you know, Jake, I've been a campaign manager for a United States congressional candidate in Georgia. So I'll send you some tips for your campaign, because it's really important that people like you get support, and I stand behind you. So I'll call me for whatever you need. It's
Thank you.
been
Yeah,
something that I've
Laverne,
spent a lot
connect
of time
us.
doing.
You can
I'm sorry?
connect us after we're done here hanging
Yes.
out.
Okay,
Thank you. I
I would
appreciate
do
that.
that.
We're running a real grassroots campaign. I don't think that you can get as like a political outsider like Trump. You can't get any more of a political outsider than emerging out of a prison cell. I just got my ID a couple of days ago. You know what I mean? We're putting our life back together, but really God's put it in my heart to make a difference and to ensure that the next generation of Americans never have to see political prisoners in their country again, or the deep state weaponized to the point. I mean, we were this close to the weaponization of the government destroying our country. They almost locked up Donald Trump for the rest of his life. They almost had me away for the rest of my life, and this country would have been obliterated, And so the power that, and the danger really of the deep state is that it really is almost powerful enough to almost crumble our republic. It almost did. If Kamala Harris would have won, it would have been unspeakable what our country would have became. And so that's my promise to, my constituents and to all the American people, that I will never compromise my integrity. I will always stand and fight. I never took a plea deal to the deep state regime while I was incarcerated. I never complained. I trusted in God, and, I'm going to take that same spirit that got me through, the Holy Spirit that got me through my incarceration, and bring it to Capitol Hill.
You're not alone, because I don't know if you know, but I'm President Trump's co-defendant in the Fulton County RICO with Fannie Willis. So I understand
Wow.
fully what you mean by political prosecution. I have been in this game. I've had the FBI stalk me for 3.5 years. But now the tide has turned. Fannie is going to be on the stand. And believe me, I will do everything I can to bring her to justice, because she was a pivotal player in trying to destroy our democracy, as they like to say. So I'm with you, and I understand 100%.
God, that's great.
And,
Keep
and
fighting.
speaking,
I'm so glad that the tables have turned there
They have
for
turned.
all you guys.
and
The
Jake,
Bible tells
I
us he
support you.
will prepare a table for us before our enemies. And you know what that
Amen.
means is he will allow us to feast. He will allow us to be successful right in front of their faces. And so he is truly preparing a table for us before our enemies.
Amen. When you talk about destroying, right? When you talk about the word destroying, one group comes to mind, and that's Black Lives Matters.
Correct.
Because Black Lives Matters was the epitome
Of destruction.
everything that destroying means, and deception. Because they burnt down stores, they burnt down people businesses, and look what they did for Black owned companies such as Aunt Jemima Pancakes. They had a problem with her name. That
Uncle
was
Ben
No,
Rice.
wait.
Uncle Ben's Rice is no longer.
That was his name, Uncle
Yeah.
Ben.
Uncle Ben, and
Okay.
the Lakes, the Indian that was on the Indian Pocahontas that was on the
I
bus.
I
Oh,
just
Pearl
came
Monroe.
back from prison
Right.
and I look in my fiance's fridge and I'm like, what is Pearl Milling? Because
That's the
I've
name
been
that they
gone
changed
now.
it to.
And she's like, Jake, that's Aunt Jemima. And I'm like, no, no, no,
No.
that can't be possible.
Black
What
people
is
know that. Her historic, legendary past has now been destroyed.
yep.
No, the next generation will not know what this woman went through to become the most famous pancake syrup in our country. It was eradicated, erased because Black people thought that that was racist. So when you get rid of Uncle Ben and you get rid of Aunt Jemima and you get rid of the Pocahontas on the Land O'Lakes butter, we have to look. It's a godsend that Trump is president, because imagine what would be. I mean, history would be rewritten by Democrats, and we always know that the winners get to write history. So we're on the winner side. We're making America great again. We're changing this country. We're trying to get back on track. It's going to take a lot of us to actually be involved. And, I'll be right on the front lines with you, Jake. Don't even worry.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take my fiance out now for some
Hey,
lunch.
y'all have a great time.
I'm trying to
Yes,
balance a million podcasts a day in my campaign with being a normal human and, and being good to the people around me. So I appreciate you guys so much. Guys, if you want to help out all the listeners there, if you want to help out the Jan Sixers that are, we're getting our lives back together. A lot of my brothers are currently, I got them in like month-long Airbnbs and, like little apartments and stuff like that until they get jobs and get their feet back underneath them. That stuff is expensive. Buying groceries and taking care of these broken families. It's our organizations do need donations in order to help these Jan Sixers rebuild their lives. So please, guys, go to j6rebuild.com if you guys want to pull that up for like a screen share to show the people.
Jay. I mean G.
Yeah, J6 Rebuild, the letter J, the number 6 rebuild.com. And there's like a little 1 minute video on there, a little animated video we could play that kind of explains what the organization and this fundraiser is about. It's super vital. And, without the support of the American people, a lot of my guys would, kind of be like penniless and homeless at this, point. But we've had a lot of support. So we've got a lot of these guys' situations taken care of. But, we just had a guy emerge from prison yesterday and we still need more help. So yep, there it is right there, the January 6th Life Rebuilding Project. If you guys want to play the video, it'd be cool, but that's the place to go.
Thank you. And also, Jake, if they would like to reach out to you regarding your campaign, how can they do it? How can they get in contact with you?
So we're launching the campaign, like the viral video of the campaign and the website imminently. Maybe I was thinking today, but I'm thinking I'm going to push it probably to this upcoming Tuesday, and we have like a big press conference and stuff like that. So the best place to go to stay in contact is Jake Lang J6 on Twitter or X. That's where
What's
we're
your campaign
connected.
slogan?
Oh, the campaign slogan is rebuilding America.
Rebuilding
Okay.
America. Amen.
We
There it
won. Now
is.
it's time to rebuild. It's been broken for a while. Yeah, we're live right now. I shared my
Oh,
my stream.
wonderful,
We're
wonderful,
live right now on my stream as well too,
wonderful,
guys. So guys,
wonderful.
make sure drop your handles too, like so that my followers can follow both of you guys as well. And we can continue to grow our great community here, guys.
Thanks so much, Jake. That's awesome. We
May
love you.
God bless you.
God bless you too, and thank you for joining us today.
Rebuild America, guys. One
Rebuild
one one
America.
brick at a time.
Amen.
One brick at a time. Amen.
God bless.
Thanks,
God
Jake.
bless you too.
Well, he's on.
Hey, that was wonderful. That
Yeah,
was really
so
wonderful.
can you
I used to talk to Jake a lot when he was in prison,
900
and
military?
I just encourage him to be strong, continue fighting, because I mean, all of those days in solitary confinement,
900.
900 days. Oh my God, that could really take away, that could break someone's sanity.
Right.
If you're not strong, if you don't have a spiritual life,
He's strong.
I mean, I don't even know, I couldn't even imagine having to go 900 days in solitary confinement. So that just shows the fact that he is consistent with endurance, strength, and everything else, and he's fought that great fight, and he's still fighting.
Yep.
So that's the type of person that we need to have in office. Someone that's not afraid to fight, someone that's not afraid to come on the Laverne Spicer show
Exactly.
and say what they need to say, and speak their mind and share with our guests, what's the latest? What are you doing? What is going on? Okay, can you play that, G?
The January 6th political prisoners are on the verge of being miraculously saved when President Trump pardons them all on January 20th, 2025. But their journey home will be a long road as they struggle to rebuild broken lives and resettle into society with nothing to their names. After enduring 4 years of persecution and imprisonment, these patriotic hostages have lost everything. Many are now homeless, having lost their homes and life savings. Families are devastated, with cars repossessed, generational businesses destroyed, and financial ruin leaving them destitute. That's why these POWs desperately need support through the J6 Life Rebuilding Fundraiser. With generous donations, we can provide basic necessities like first month's rent, cell phones, clothing, and groceries to help them resettle into society. This vital fundraiser, led by Jake Lang, a January 6th political prisoner who has suffered over 900 days of solitary confinement, has already helped over 50 patriots with legal assistance. These broken men need a helping hand to rebuild their lives, and we must be the light at the end of the tunnel for them. By contributing, you can ensure no J6 patriot steps out of prison alone and empty-handed. Volunteers will provide supplies to help every J6er settle into a new life. Please donate today to make a life-changing impact on a J6 hero. Visit j6rebuild.com to become a resettlement sponsor and bring hope to these liberated prisoners.
That's awesome. Everybody donate. You heard an amazing message from an amazing survivor, an actual prisoner of war on our own soil. So I will just ask everybody who's watching today, find it in your heart to donate to that cause, because I don't know any of us who could do 900 plus days looking at a wall alone, no support, no sunlight, no nothing. Just imagine how strong you have to be. That's our next senator. So
Yes.
need to support him.
And also, if you look at the screen, you'll see the link is right there. So please donate to the J6s. They are really, a lot of them are starting all over from scratch, and they're rebuilding their life. So let's help them rebuild their life. Benji, I just sent you a text. So can you answer me, please? I see.
Always appears out of nowhere. Benji
I
just
know, right?
Benji
Benji, answer me.
right.
So, so anyway, moving on. I think it's amazing the fact that they are working together as a group to build and repair and move forward with fighting for this country, because that's what we all need to do. That's what you understand.
Now, are we going to talk
Yeah,
about
I understand that. You're right, Mark. I understand, because that's exactly what I do. I help people rebuild their life with my food bank. That's exactly, because a lot of time people come and they don't have anything. They don't have anything, especially a lot of the seniors. And that's why reaching out to help these people is so very important.
So we're going to talk about these Epstein files being released to
Okay, go ahead.
conservative, I guess you want to call them influencers. And in my personal opinion, if we really wanted the truth out of those two files, there were two people who were left off that list. One is Candace Owens, because nobody does a better job to getting to the bottom line than Candace Owens. And number two, Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer was left off that list, and I'm trying to figure out why they would leave her off. And I'm looking at some of these other influencers who don't put in the investigative work that Laura does, and nobody, Candace Owens is second to none. Nobody can top her. I mean, she just revealed that Brigitte Macron, the she husband of or wife of the president of France, is actually a man, and they have, so I don't think this is a serious undertaking, because if they really wanted the American people to know what was in those files and to get to the bottom of it, not just be on the surface of it, Candace Owens and Laura Loomer should have been on that list. And this is why I am not taking the release of this phase 1 of the Epstein files seriously, because there are two serious people who were 10 times more serious than the people who actually got a copy. And I'm very disappointed in the administration by, playing these games, all this theater. It's unnecessary. The American people have waited enough. But in the back of our minds, we all know who they're protecting, and it's not Bill Clinton. We've known about him forever. So you guys, I'm about to get a PRP treatment in my knees because I'm a marathoner and I need to be able to keep running. So Laverne, I hung out as long as I could, but now
Well,
they're
thank you so much.
inject me. But
Thank you so much.
and I'll be referring you all to the place that I'm getting it done. And I'll give, like updates on what my recovery is, what the process is,
Okay.
I recover. So if you all need this process, I'll be able to tell you exactly where you can go.
Okay, Travian, have the best
thank
birthday
you,
ever.
everyone.
God bless you.
Thank
You
you.
know, be strong.
I am. Don't you
Keep
worry.
your faith and keep on fighting and enjoy your treatment. And I
Thank
hope
you.
that other people out here that have never had any type of treatment, please go and do something for yourself.
Amen.
Do something for yourself.
See you next week. Thank you so much, Laverne.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, so it's me and you all. Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, Benji, I just sent you the link. If you would like to come on, please come on. I'm on the show, and hold on a minute. So anyway, we're gonna move right along. I think Benji is coming in the room. I'm not sure, but anyway, yes. I see what you said, Luigi, but I always invite you on the show. And I ain't never seen you come up here yet. But I see you in the chat box. But moving forward, let's talk about other things and let's move on. And like I said, women, ladies, men, everybody need to love themselves and do great things for yourself. Go get you some treatment, get you some work done so you can feel good and relax and have a beautiful day, a beautiful life, and just enjoy yourself and pace your fight. Give yourself time to heal, give yourself time to rewind, and don't just get so burned up and burn out and stressed the fuck out, because life goes on. Life goes on. We are all in this fight. We are all in this battle together, right? But as we move forward as people, we must understand one thing. Do not allow the Democrats and people, your elected officials, and the news media that always want to throw out their race card, do not allow them to plant seeds in your mind. Because one thing about this country that we have seen in the last few years, so many people have risked their life to come here. They jumped through the damn barbed wire gates, barbed wire fences. They crossed the lake where God only knows what was in that water, okay? So if all those people risked their life to come here, a lot of them came here to at least get a chance at a better life. But you already here. So you can't sit around saying, hey, it's the white man's fault. Hey, Benji, you can't sit around saying everything is the white man's fault, because a lot of it You have to look at the man in the mirror because it's your destiny. It's your life. It's all about the choices you make. You you cannot blame somebody if they get off their ass and they get up early in the morning. Benji, you got me with a
Hey.
little noise over here. If they get
Oh, my
up
bad. Can you hear me?
and they go out
Is
and
it
they
better
look
now?
and they apply themselves to trying to do great things and trying to make things happen, you cannot get mad with that person because you sit your fat ass around the house all damn day munching and eating on shit that you don't even need to be eating on, and you mad with the next man because he's out applying himself and trying to better his or her life. So why are you so angry and resentful of this person? Why we as people can't encourage each other? And that's a major problem when you have little ugly bald head motherfuckers like Joy Reid out here telling people that everything is a fucking racist. If everything is so racist, how in the fuck did she get to where she is today? How did she get to be a journalist? How did she get to be on MSNBC News or CNN or whatever the fuck news station she's on? How in the fuck did she accomplish all of that? Okay, let's look at Jasmine Crockett, another motherfucker that's out here playing the race card. But yet she in fucking Congress acting like a whole fucking idiot. Okay? She's in Congress being a whole hood rat, fucking idiot. How did she get to be there if everything is so fucking racist? Okay? It's not about racism, it's about you applying yourself. Because if you go and apply yourself and you believe in what you're doing, then guess what? You can achieve that shit if you believe it. But you have to believe in yourself, you know. And I'm gonna say it again: don't hang around motherfuckers that stay home all day and don't do shit because you think they get ready to encourage your ass. Hell no, they ain't gonna encourage you, girl. Why you want to do that, girl? You always trying to do so much. Why in the fuck you gonna go listen to them? Be around people that are doing. Come on, Benji, help me out. Be around people that are doing what? Great things that are
Something.
making shit
I mean,
happen.
something with
That
their
are
life.
making shit happen. It doesn't matter what color you are. Because if you
Doing
out
some,
here, you would
doing
get
something with their
white
life.
people to help you. You know, Indian people may want to help you. Hell, African people may want to help you. People from Australia may want to help you. I had neighbors right here at my warehouse that were from Australia, and they used to help me do things. A lot of my neighbors are from different countries. They donate, they volunteer, they come and they help
Laverne,
us to do things.
let me go out and come in. I'm gonna switch devices.
Okay,
I'm gonna switch you to my
okay,
iPad. All right.
okay, no problem.
All right.
Thank you, Luigi. You could come on this show and say that too. But let me tell you something. If you're around negative people that don't want to do shit, do you think they want to see you go to the next level of being great and doing great things, of creating, you know, some of you guys are really smart. A lot of you all have visions. You see things in your dreams. You could see yourself going places. You could see yourself doing positive things, but you're around a lot of negative motherfuckers that don't want shit. So once again, you must change your environment. You know, come around positive people that want to make things happen, and that way start building up your self-esteem. So how do you build up your self-esteem? I'm gonna tell you again. You set small goals. It could be something very small, a very small goal. But when you accomplish that goal, right, then you reward yourself for that goal. It could be an ice cream cone. You know, this your first step. You know, it's like when you walking as a baby, you take baby steps. So you reward yourself by doing small things until that builds up your confidence. You know, when you first complete your first step, you're not going out to buy yourself a damn Rolls Royce or anything. You're gonna do small steps because that's gonna help you build up your self-confidence till you get to the level where you need to be at, you know. In case I'm saying that to the people that really don't have the help, really don't have the support, don't buy in to whoever don't want to see you succeed, because it's not about what they want us to see you do. It's about what you want to do. I remember when I first started my organization, and I talked to one person in particular in my community, and I said, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think about it? So he said, well, if you do that, it's going to be a lot of work. Are you sure you want to do that? And you know what? Because he told me that I was gonna have to really apply myself, and I was gonna have to do a lot of work, that really, got my fire to really turn it. I say, hell yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to do whatever it's gonna take to get me to the next level in life. So once again, you gotta be around positive people, and you gotta overcome your fear. You know, People are so afraid, and people often inbox me and they'll say, "Well, Laverne, thank you for speaking out, because I'm so afraid to say this. I'm so afraid of what my neighbors are gonna think." You know, but your neighbors don't stay in your motherfucking house. Your neighbors don't pay your fucking rent. Your neighbors don't pay your light bill. They don't pay your telephone bill. They don't pay no shit in your house duty. Now, if they pay your bills, maybe you got to take that shit into consideration. Okay? But if your neighbors don't pay your bills, you ain't got to worry about what the fuck they feeling, because it's about what do you feel also. You have to take how you feel into consideration sometime. People hate to step on people's toes, and they just really hate to say anything. Well, I want to say this, but I'm so afraid what somebody's going to say. Man, level that shit up and say what you got to say, and start holding that shit back. You might not say it once again the way I would say it, but find a way to communicate to that person exactly how you feel. And, in our country, when it comes to politics, we the people, we have a great divide. We are so divided. Oh, I don't like Democrats. Oh, I don't like Republicans or whatever. But a lot of us really can't say it. I'm a Republican, but all of my family, they're Democrats. So I'm not gonna say, hey, I hate my family. I love my family, you know, regardless of politics. So when I'm with them, maybe I would discuss some of the things that are going on in this country. But in the same token, if I'm gonna step on their toes or it's gonna get heated, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and then I'm through with it. I'm not gonna sit there and push no buttons. I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm through with it. Now, how they feel about it, that's on them. I really don't care, because I'm gonna get that shit off of my chest. Okay. So a lot of people inbox me and they say, "Thank you, Laverne, for giving me the strength, because I was so afraid." Well, come out of your fear box, Miss Annie, and stop being afraid. You know, how long do you have to live with that fear? How long do you have to stay afraid? Come out, put on your big girl panties and step on out and do what you need to do. Okay. So, like I was saying, with those certain people that are in Congress, when you look at Miss Muffet Baby, Maxine Waters, or whether it's Jasmine Crockett or any of them, you looking at them, especially Jasmine. She's the hoodie. She get the real hoodie award for the Democrats. So she want to come out with her super cape on for the hood rat of the day in the White House. And they allow her, the Republicans allow her to say whatever the fuck she want to say. Nobody out there make her level up. So Republicans, that's why y'all need some real motherfucking black women in those fucking seats that can go in there and counteract that bullshit that hood rat, Miss Crockett is saying, because only someone like myself can do that. Okay? Only someone like myself. And they making this motherfucker a superhero because what? She's pushing the race card. But
She's
what
the
the fuck do
future.
they do for their district? Listen, when you talking to these people, they always talking about they don't have the funds to do this and they don't have the funds to do that, right? But if that little bald head bastard, what's that little bald headed one name? That's Omar, Ilhan Omar, that little baldy, she is saying 55 billion, the fucking Somalia, right? 55 million, whatever it was, she sent to Somalia.
She's from.
If she could do that, then that means that the other people that are telling people that they cannot help them can level the fuck up too. So y'all got to realize, for people out here that are busting their ass to help the community, y'all got to level up and realize when these motherfuckers lying to y'all, okay? Because they got pots and pots and pots of fucking money. But a lot of them gonna tell you, hey, I just don't have the funds right now. But y'all motherfuckers can send all that goddamn money to Ukraine. Y'all can help these fucking American people. Now, the ones I fight for are my seniors and them fucking vets. Because those people put their life on the line to fight for this damn country. And the seniors worked all their fucking life to take care of people like us. So they should not
It's a
be
shame.
struggling.
It's a shame that our vets aren't automatically taken care of. I feel like if you went to war, to me, you shouldn't have to worry about paying for a home for the rest of your life. And the fact that you have Maxine Waters and the rest of them out there, you know, fighting for government employees, people who have 4-year degrees, people who can go in the private sector and do other things. Yet our vets, people who have lost legs, lost arms, lost their sanity, their own sanity even, and we do nothing for them. It's a real shame that all the things that we allow to go on in this country while we're all fighting about, you know, race and color and gender and all this other stupid stuff,
And all the insignificant shit. That's insignificant, you know. And this shit is getting to the point where it's really just stupidity. Because now, where that shit is? It's on my page. They want to call the husband, the wife or husband, the spouse, right?
And the woman
the
is
mother,
the inseminated person.
The mother they want is the inseminated person. Now, let me tell y'all something about that shit right there. That shit may fly in a white person's home. But you go to your black mother and you call her the inseminated person, she gonna slap your ass back in the last year. Real quick and fast. So black people already know, don't try that shit right there, because that shit ain't gonna work. Okay?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's disgusting. And yet people still are out here homeless. I mean, if you look at even the illegals themselves, they just discovered they got 28 billion in home loans and grants and startups. These are reparations. So they literally gave the illegals reparations, and black folks are still sitting here upset with me. They're upset with Mayor Adams in New York, because he actually, what is he in trouble for? He's in trouble for saying that to get rid of the illegals in New York. That is why Biden has his whole charge against him, all this bull crap with Turkey and everything. And now they're like, oh, well, he's a coon. How is he a coon for trying to help New York by getting rid of illegals? I don't understand how black people are still sitting here trying to ride for illegals at this point. They gave them reparations in your face. I don't understand how the wokies can sit here and still be for the Democrats at this point.
But at this point, right,
it's amazing. I don't get it.
These are the ones that always want to use the race card for everything. Because long as they keep people hyped up about racism, then guess what? They don't really have to address your problem, do they?
They don't. And the thing is, it's just about
concern.
being anti-Trump. It's not even about doing anything important, even caring about these people. Because anybody black in the hood obviously would not want these illegals to be here, because they're not helping you at all. But the reason why they're robbing us is because, oh, it's Trump is for it, I got to be against it. So if Trump wanted to give every nigga $5 million tomorrow, they'd find a way to be against it. I mean, shit, look at Jasmine Crockett. Speaking of her, she went on TV. Oh, you couldn't use $5,000. $5,000 is enough to change somebody's life. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like $5,000. If you just in general, just broke in general and just don't have it.
Listen,
what you can do with $5,000. That's what your average person makes in a month. You know what I mean? So what is she talking about? Like, oh, that can't do nothing for anybody. Like anything that they can do to be against Trump,
if she was
do
not
like,
in Congress, she'll be trying to get that $5,000 her damn self. So she can shut the fuck up with that one. Because a lot of them seniors,
of course she would be.
They could do a lot with that money.
Because that is literally enough to change. Like, you can start a business with that. You can start a business with $5,000. You can pay back, you know, your credit card. Like, if you imagine if I have $5,000 of credit card debt and I pay that debt back, my credit score goes up 100 points. You know what I mean? Like, that $5,000 is enough to change somebody's life. This is how out of touch and ridiculous
and also, okay, I think Benji is freezing for some reason. I'm gonna go back to that Jasmine Crockett thing, but also they're saying that the word previously used for man and woman has been changed. They're trying to change it. No, this is going on in Wisconsin. They're trying to change the law to call a man or woman a person. You know, instead of saying man, this is a woman. And you know, we know what the bottom line is. We know what this is all about, and we know what they're trying to do. But this is a law that they're trying to pass in Wisconsin. So this is the thing. Back to Jasmine. These people used the race card to cover up for the fact that they are totally ineffective in their community when it comes to helping people. Because, you know, they'll be like, okay, well, come and see me. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. But when you call them, you can't get no help, okay? When you call them, you cannot get help. They cannot help you. And a lot of times it's just simple shit that the people need help with, you know? Just simple shit that people need help with. So that's what happened when you have ineffective leadership. And that is also what happens when people do not hold their elected official feet to the fire. Okay? So when you see them, stop seeing them as a big celebrity, because that's not what they got hired to do. They got hired to help you. You voted for that person. Okay? So make sure that whatever your needs are, that they are there to help you, and that you could call them to also help make a change with things that are taking place. I see Margaret. I see Margaret said that Mama said if you want to soar like eagles, don't hang with turkeys. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Because if you hang with them turkeys, you would not be soaring. That's for sure. So I think that G, do you have a clip? G, do we have a clip? I don't care which clip you play.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just caught Apple in literal subliminal brainwashing. That was Sean's term for it. He's absolutely right. This is incredible. You see more and more of this type of stuff. Charlotte, show people what you just discovered.
So if you do voice note to text and you say racist. See that? Racist. Racist.
Ooh. Let me get it closer. Show people they can see that. That is insane. This is an Apple.
Racist.
Wow.
Wow.
Do it again.
Wow.
You hit this voice note here, record your voice down here.
Uh-huh.
And you say racist.
Wow.
Can you fucking believe that?
Now, here's the deal. Remember what Google did for 2 months after Trump got shot? They wouldn't even let you search it or find it. ChatGPT wouldn't let you do it. That's what Professor Epstein calls it, a subliminal programming. And they also do it with headlines that'll say something that's not true, but when you click it, it's a different article. so that they can't basically get caught doing it.
And you can go test this out. It'll work on your phone too if you have Apple.
Wow.
It does on everyone's phone. Just try and get your phone. Let's see if it
Here,
works.
let's see it. Wow. Here, Charlotte. You focus on it. It's gonna go mega viral.
Hit the right down there and say racist.
Racist.
Do it again.
Racist. 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 It did
You
it
saw it
again.
do it?
Racist.
Wow.
Racist Trump. Wow.
Wow. Okay, folks, this is absolutely insane. Out of control. Follow me at Real Alex Jones. Will be live 11 a.m. Central coverage.
It's absolutely totally unbelievable. You know, these people have stooped to an all-time low. An all-time low. You know, like I said, when it comes to conservatives, Republicans, they want to classify us as racist. Everything dealing with us is racist, right? But they don't say shit about Joe Biden, who was best friends with Robert Byrd, the Grand Wizard. They don't say shit about Joe Biden, who was in office for over 47 years plus. They say that he does not want his kids going to school with, what do you call them? Jungle what? And also he said that he hopes Haiti sinks below sea level. And you can find that clip for yourself, because if you go on YouTube, I know it's up there. And never forget, never forget who did that 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out. That was Biden and Bill Clinton. Okay? And that in itself caused a huge number of people to get incarcerated that got caught up in that. Okay, so it's funny how they can see all of that when it comes to Republicans are so racist, but nobody has shit to say about Joe Biden and his crime bill and everything else he did that truly showed that he was a fucking racist. They didn't have a damn thing to say for their big daddy fucking Joe Biden. They ain't have shit to say about his ass, okay? So miss me with the bullshit and miss me with the drama.
They never do. They never do. Remember, Joe Biden said, "I know what's good for the Negro." It's just so crazy to be the same people that are so offended by everything Trump do.
He was just straight to the point. But all the little black Democrats bowed down and kissed the fucking ring. It didn't matter what Joe Biden had to say. If he called black people jungle bunnies, okay?
I have to say, I thought that thing with Charlemagne when he was like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I really thought that black people were going to be more upset about that. I was actually kind of disappointed that black people weren't. I'm really shocked that black people weren't more upset about that, because that's something that you'd think we'd be offended by. And Trump said something like that, because I remember it's a thing.
Oh, it would be on every news station.
It
would be on every show. It would be in The View. And The View would talk about that for the whole damn show. The View would talk about that for the whole show, okay?
Trump called that guy my African American 10 years ago, and they still crying about that, making up tears about that for nothing. And I always say when they say that, like, what was Trump supposed to say? What's good, my nigga? Like, I don't know what did they want from Trump in that moment. I just don't understand. Like, what was the best thing for Trump to say? Like, it's ridiculous to me when they do this. But that's how you know it's bullcrap. But they got to keep the race stuff going because it's all they have. But it's running.
And Benji, do you remember when Biden said
they voted for Trump?
Okay, do you remember when Biden said he hopes Haiti sink below sea level?
He said what? No, when he said, I remember when the Clintons took all that money from Haiti. I remember that. They took billions from Haiti back in, 2010? That was, and so many companies, Digicel, that's still a tragedy. Haiti still never recovered from that first earthquake. So, and they still taking money off of them. So yeah, none of that surprises me. They don't care about anybody. Even did you see Monica Lewinsky yesterday thinking that they cared about her, talking about some Bill Clinton he should have resigned. Girl, they don't care about you. Remember, Hillary Clinton was the one who was making sure everybody was making sure they was calling her all kinds of sluts and hoes and whatnot. Hillary was in charge of that. They don't care about women. They don't care about you, Monica Lewinsky. The Democrats only care about power. That's it. You step in their way, they're gonna run you over. They don't care who
or
you are.
will come up missing. Some of them you will come up missing.
You.
So what do you think about Joy Reid getting fired from MS whatever N?
I mean, at the end of the day, you got all these people that rallied around her saying, you know, Joy, you're strong, you're this, you're that, you're the third. But at the end of the day, y'all wasn't watching her ass. So if y'all was watching her, she'd be on. That's just real talk. Like if she was getting 1 million viewers a night talking her shit, she'd still be on TV. The fact of the matter is the woke shit is people are tired of it. It's not popular anymore. And they lied. They lied to their audience saying that Kamala was going to win. This was going to happen. So, I mean, I know it's hard for us to do this, but like think about us in the liberal person's place. If you were a liberal Kamala voter and you're just, you know, your regular, you know, Democrat, and you're like, yeah, Kamala's gonna win and Trump is stupid and he's racist and da-da-da-da. You listen to Joy Reid every night, you listen to MSNBC and Rachel Maddow, and you think this thing is in the bag, and you watch election night, state after state going for Trump, you're like, what the fuck? Did these people just lie to me for the last 2 years? Yes, they did. So I don't know why she's not surprised that she's losing the ratings that she is. And Rachel Maddow, honestly, I think she's going to be on her way out next because they're paying her $25-30 million for what? Her ratings aren't that much better. And I just read this morning that they actually let go a lot of people that were working underneath Rachel Maddow. So I think that they're gonna fire her too. The money's not there. Because I mean, look, your platform has people, you know what I mean? I'm on Newsmax. That's people that's on there. Like, and nobody's watching the legacy media anymore. People are tired of being lied to. People are tired of the BS narrative. So, I mean, there's going to be more and more firings like that. Don Lemon, you know, he can't find a break nowhere. He's struggling on YouTube. His X thing never worked. Nobody cares what he thinks. He's up there trying to insult Megyn Kelly to get a little press or whatever. Like, he's pathetic. So the mainstream media is all falling away. It's crumbling. So it's not even about racism or sexism or any of the isms because nobody was watching her. So
nobody gives a damn about none of that at the end of the day. Period.
Get on YouTube.
Nobody cares about any of that
on your own. Because remember the other lady too, Tiffany Cross. Remember the first lady that got fired from MSNBC, the other black lady. Remember the light-skinned one who was talking all that shit about black men voting for Trump? Where is she at now? Not doing shit. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch it. But Joy Reid, unfortunately, mama, nobody cares. It just is what it is. They'll be mad for this week. After next week, week after next, she's done. Nobody cares about her anymore.
Nobody gives a fuck about none of that. Period. You know, people just trying to live their best life right about now. Did you see the guy
replacing her?
Nobody gives a fuck about that. Don Lemon.
Did you see
the rest of those race-baiting black people? Most of them are already in a relationship with a white person. So what they just trying to do is stir the pot to make people feel some type of way against each other. And one thing about this country right about now, it's so many blended families. A lot of people have blended families, you know. So love who you love and do not allow the media to influence you with their bullshit. And I always tell people, stop believing all that shit you see. Watch these podcasts where you have people that are giving you the real news. And, you know, look at how many people allow the media to, especially in places like Florida and other places, that allow the news media to scare them into getting those shots, those COVID shots. I'm not talking about the states that you had no choice, basically, but I'm talking about, you know, these places where you had the right to say, no, I don't want that shit. I'm not putting that in my body, you know. And a lot of people allow the news media to talk them into that and tell them that they're going to die if they don't get those shots. But look at how many people died suddenly. Look at how many people died suddenly.
Yeah.
I know people that became handicapped, that became paralyzed, and everything else, right?
And they can't
But
get
the
nothing
ones
off
that
the
I tried to
government,
talk to
nothing
and
from
tell
those
them
firms
don't
or
do it,
nothing.
they still did it anyway, right? So now
And they can't
what
get
I'm
anything for
hearing
that.
from different stations is that some of these insurance companies are saying that if somebody died from COVID and they got the shot, that they're not paying out anymore, because they're saying that if they got the shot, it's like committing suicide. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm seeing that all across social media. That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing that all across social media.
I know you're unable to sue them, and I mean, and I believe that might have been. Don't quote me on this, but that might have been even passed by Congress to give, the manufacturers of the COVID vaccines that protection. But I know you can't sue, and for me, that was. I mean, not that I was ever gonna get it anyway. I praise your blood here because I ain't never gotten to that mess, but. The fact that you couldn't sue, to me, that was the red flag right there. They just made this thing in 5 minutes. If something happens, well, you can't sue, you can't whatever, but you got to get it. It just was too haphazard for me. Like, there was just no way I was gonna, put this thing in my body. And the fact that they weren't giving people a choice, all those signs are pointing to just like it was very, for us who are Christians who believe, it was very much a mark of the beast sort of thing. Like, you're not gonna make me put something in my body by the government. Like that's absolutely not. And look what it's done. It's a disaster. People were still getting COVID with it anyway. You have all these young boys that was out here falling out from myocarditis or whatever the hell.
In their
I'm
20s,
just so glad
on the fields, just falling out.
Young, 19, 20 years old, just falling out because of this foolishness, because of this drug they made everybody go and get. And Lord only knows what the hell is in that thing. Lord only knows. And then they said the rumor was that when they would show Joe Biden getting it, he wasn't even really getting the COVID vaccine. He was getting that water or getting a placebo. Remember, they had the fake White House, the White House set. That was the Biden presidency. When we look back on this 50, 100 years from now, when the emotions are gone at like the history, it's going to just be a real wild just look back at the stuff that we just kind of let fly with COVID. Because we just took our freedom and just said, F the freedoms. We just let them just do whatever the hell they wanted to do. That's why I left New York. Because I remember in 2020, I was born and raised in New York. And I remember during 9/11, like that happened on Tuesday. I was back in school on Friday. During COVID, they're talking about shutting New York down 8 o'clock at night. Everybody got to be at the house for a curfew. And I didn't think people were really going to do it until they really did. And I'm just like, these people are crazy. Like, how are you going to let the government tell you when you got to be in the house? And people dead ass in New York City, like, I got to be in the house for the curfew. What kind of slave master jigaboo shit is this? Like, that's not freedom. You can't tell me when I can and cannot be in my house. Like, that's when I left. That's for me. That was just it for me. But I'm just really shocked at the way that we just let our freedoms go in the name of safety. And that comes back to COVID. That comes back to everything. That even the congestion pricing thing in New York, all that stuff, all of our freedoms to be able to move. We literally letting the government tax our movement. Now you can't go to a certain part of the city without paying money to the government. Like what? What the hell are we doing here? So I praise God to be elected President Trump. Thank God there's a snapback to this foolishness, because people are just letting their freedom just go in the name of just doing whatever for the narrative. Take the shot, pay the toll, be a slave. Like, what are we really doing here? That's the real conversation we need to be having, besides like who's a coon and who's black and who's not black enough and whatever the hell stupid shit we always talking about that doesn't matter. Let's talk about the fact that our freedom is being eroded every single day.
You're absolutely right, man.
Even on the internet, you can't say certain shit. Where I'm still shadow banned on everything. And do me a favor, please follow me. I'm Ben Jerby on everything. BNJIRBY on everything. On TikTok, I can't say, people try to say shit against me. I'm a coon, I'm this, I'm that. TikTok, I respond back. My comment can't go through. Now, you can cuss me out, call me all kinds of coons. I'm a coon, I'm this, and that.
Hey,
and
listen.
I don't mind. I don't restrict.
That's
it,
why I
thing
do
is,
not deal with those
but I can't even
other
get back.
platforms, because I know I will get kicked off. I know I will get kicked off because somebody send me some dumb shit. I'm sending it right back to them. Trust and believe that.
With me. X is such
Trust
a hater.
and believe
As I've told you, X is such a hater with me. Like, this is like my third X account. Like, this X is such a hater with me. But I do enjoy the fact that my shit does get viewed on TikTok. It's just I can't really clap back at the haters like I want to. But I do on Instagram though. On Instagram, I really can just go off on it. I have to say, but they did say message last night because somebody said some shit and they was just like, and I responded back and I cussed them out like the normal shit. And it was just like Instagram saying message, you may want to review this comment. This comment is causing emotional whatever in the community. It's like, shut the fuck up. When they call me all kinds of coons and want to kill me, I'm gonna kill you. Da, 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 da. I'm not sitting here fucking crying. I don't report people's comments and shit like that, but I say some shit back and oh Lord, here we go. I've disrupted the community. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. And it's so backwards and it's so slanted toward the fucking libs. They can do whatever the fuck they want, say whatever the fuck they want. It is never any problem. But when we respond back, oh Lord, it's the end of the world. We gotta restrict your account. We gotta shadow ban
Listen,
you and all this dumb shit.
I know with Facebook, my husband could hardly never say nothing. They kept him in Facebook jail. I refused to say anything because I know they was gonna kick me off, so I don't even care. But
it's
at the end of the day, people, it's all about stay focused. Don't feed into the bullshit. Just stay focused. Stay focused. Keep your mind right. Keep your mind straight. And let's keep fighting. Forget about that race card. Let's forget about the race card. Let's concentrate in getting this country back on track and restoring all the damage. Nobody said shit when Biden had the damn price of food so high. Trump in office January, the eggs are all-time high because he's in office.
You know what I wish they would do though with the messaging on that? I wish they would say, which is true, that the price of eggs, the price of everything, the contingency that Trump had on all of this was that we have to bring the price of energy down. So if we're not doing energy exploration, if we're not bringing the price of energy down, that's the driver for everything else. Like, I don't know if they're communicating that correctly. It doesn't seem like they are, but I wish they were pushing that because it's like you're giving the Democrats a narrative. Because the biggest part of being conservative in general is to make sure that we're fighting against a narrative because the media is always going to be against us. So we're always fighting an uphill battle against the media. Even with this thing with Elon Musk and the email itself wasn't bad, the pulse check, but it's the way in which you do it because you don't want to give the media a narrative to say that, Doge is uncaring and they, whatever, because at the end of the day, Elon Musk is not a politician. I tell you, I'm not really a fan of Elon Musk, as y'all know. He keeps banning me, so like, whatever, fuck him. I'm not really a fan of his like that, but the idea of Doge, I think, is good, but he's not a politician. Donald Trump is. So we have to make sure that in all the things that we do, Republicans still have to continue to get reelected in 2026, in 2028 to keep these policies going. So it's like with Elon Musk being a dick and an asshole, just putting this shit out and saying that if you don't answer this email, you're fired. Like, you can't put out an email and say if you don't answer it, you're fired. Like, however we feel about government employees or whatever, a lot of those people are, veterans and people that are on our side. So it's like you send a blank email to 4 million people and then you go on Twitter being a dick, like, if you don't answer, you're fine. Like, you can't joke with people's livelihood and money like that. You know what I mean? So,
no, you cannot.
So right. So you don't. So it's the thing is, you don't want the message and the goodness of what Doge is doing to get fucked up in your schoolboy fucking weirdo. And Elon is such a weirdo to me. I don't know why y'all like him. He don't do it for me. He's a fucking weirdo. I give him and Trump's bromance to the end of the year. This shit won't go into 26. That's my prediction because he's overstepping his bounds because he's doing things that's fucking up the narrative for Trump. Like, it's like, stay in your lane, do what you do, but it's not about you. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's doing too much. He's because his face is becoming too much of the face of whatever. And at the end of the day, I don't trust him. I don't think he's definitely not MAGA. I don't trust his leaning on Trump with the H-1B. This is where me and Trump have the big issue is the H-1B. He's like, you don't disagree with Trump. Please note, for everyone in the world, for everyone watching, I'm disagreeing with Trump on H-1B. We don't agree. We can actually do that over here. I don't like that.
Benji, hold on a minute. We also have breaking news that Mel Gibson is planning on running for governor of California, of all places. And I think that's great news because I think that Gavin Newsom really needs to get the hell up out of there.
Did Mel Gibson have the anti-Jewish rant at one time? Did he have one? I believe he did. Didn't they make fun of that on Family Guy or something? Like, don't get me. I'm not the best person for the pop because I'm just saying that's going to be a thing. They're gonna use that against him. So I hope he's ready for that. I hope his campaign team.
Well, you know, if you want to talk about that, they also got a lot of stuff to use against Newsom. What about the fact
they do? But remember, California is a deeply, deeply Democrat state. There is a lot of that. You know what I mean? That sort of money funding a lot of things in California. So it's not impossible. I mean, you know, Larry Elder got within striking distance during that campaign. So it's not impossible. I just hope that Mel Gibson is ready. I hope he don't think it's going to be easy. I hope he don't think it's going to be like he's going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. If he's going to put on the realm or the hat of being a Republican in California, I hope he's ready for that fight for real. Like, I really hope he's ready for it. They're going to tear him apart. So I hope he's ready for it. Because it's not.
Well, I hope he's ready to, you know, because this is the thing. If you're going to run for office, you cannot be afraid.
You cannot.
You know, you got to show up because you're going to have some motherfuckers that's going to come for your ass.
If you want to be,
you got to be ready. You just cannot be afraid.
You can't be afraid as a black conservative. You can't be afraid. The death threats and the this and the that, and I'm going to cancel you and fuck you and all that shit. Like, that's a Tuesday for me. So, you know what I mean? I just hope that he is ready because California, not a game. And that's a very deep Democrat state, jungle primary. I don't even think they don't even have a regular primary. They do that ranked choice voting weird stuff out there. So I just hope he's ready. I hope he really gets in with their real conservative red base of support. He's going to need a lot of purple people that went for Trump. I mean, it's not impossible, but he's got to get going. And that anti-Semitic thing, I hope his people are on top of that immediately because that's the first thing they're gonna jump on. Because that's what they do. They're gonna find something racial about you, and that's the first thing they're gonna try to take you out. That is always the game plan for
Of course, you know they're gonna they're gonna come with everything they got. So he just gotta be ready for it. Yeah, and I'm sure at this point of the game, they've been trying to drag this man through the dirt for fucking years. So I'm pretty much sure at this point in the game, if he's gonna run, he's ready. He gotta be ready for him.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got the money. So he's at the end of his life. He don't gotta do more acting, whatever. So I mean, I'm sure he'll be ready for the fight. So anybody's better in California than what we got. So I mean, even in New York, I feel like in New York, the Republicans have a chance in New York. I don't know what Mayor Adams is going to do. My prediction.
Speaking of New York, Benji, right? And I'm going to close in a few. Nobody had shit to say when New York gave out all that money to them fucking illegals, put them up in them hotel rooms, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody said shit about Chicago giving illegals $15,000. But all of a sudden, when it comes to them giving money to the American people, they have a problem with it.
It always is that. And unfortunately, it's our own fault. And the reason why I say that is because, especially for Black folks with the Democrat Party and with them giving everything else to illegals, they know at the end of the day, Black folks are still going to vote for them regardless of what they do. They'll just say, oh, Trump, oh, racism, whatever. Because they want a new base. Their new base is the illegals. They already got Black folks. They got us already. So they feel like, all right, well, we got these niggas. So let's get some new people. We need to enlarge our base now against Trump. So let's try to get the illegals in. That's what they're doing. They're giving them every sweetheart deal, everything they ever could want, because we, unfortunately, as Black people, refuse to not vote for them. For the crime of not voting for Democrats, look what they do to us. We're coons. We're this, we're that. I see your comments. You see my comments. This is why. So I look at them and end of the day, this is why y'all are getting what y'all getting. But what I do is I'm going to do best for me. I'm going to do what's best for my individual self. Because the Black community is a joke. Because y'all never gonna want to do anything better than what you already got, clearly. So I gotta do what's best for me, and I think that's what's smart.
I mean, when you say that, right? You could take a look at any Black community throughout the United States and look at the people that they have put in office over the last 40 years. What have they done to help them, especially for the ones that look like us? What the fuck have they done to help us?
They help themselves to that money.
They help themselves, their family members, their friends.
And mind you, Black folks, every one of those congressional Black caucus leaders, they're voting to give illegals money. And mind you, there's never been a vote on reparations. Y'all talk about reparations. It's a real cute thing to go and say and whatever. But mind you, they've never put reparations on the floor. And what I always say
Listen,
when
if
they
they
talk
wanted
about
to
that
give them no damn reparations, they could have been dead, done
yeah,
that.
they had to vote
Okay,
Senator Obama to do
first
it.
of
So
all.
but they're not
So
going to
I
do it,
feel like
black
they
folks.
just dangling damn
But
carrots.
exactly, they're not
But if
going to do
y'all
it,
want to
black
go for the
folks.
carrot swing, go for it.
They're not going to do it because you're not going to not vote for them, and they know that. So why would they go out their way for you when they know that you got your vote anyway? It's like a man and a woman.
Exactly.
Why is a man
Why the
gonna
fuck
marry
would they
you?
do that when they know that you all are gonna vote for them any fucking way? Make them earn your vote. Hold their feet to the fire.
He ain't
Hold
gonna
them
marry you,
accountable.
girl. If you
Hold
give up
them
that coochie on the
accountable.
first date, he ain't gonna marry a girl. Give up that coochie on the first date. Okay, he ain't gonna marry you. Black folks that gave about coochie on the first date, Democrats took it. They ain't gonna marry us, black folks. They out there cheating on us with the Latinas. They got a Latina side bitch. They spend their money on a Latina side bitch. They leaving their black bitch at home. The black we home. We home. We gave the coochie on the first date. Democrats left us. They fucking the Latina side bitch. They fucking gay people. They fucking everybody in the world left us alone. Why? Because they making them earn it. We don't. And that's really, if we want to broil everything down to it, that's really what it is. But they'll keep us in a racial slump. Oh, race, this. Because that's what
that race card.
That's what keeps us voting.
But that race card, y'all. They just use that shit because they use that to cover for their ineffective behavior of doing shit for their community. That's what that race card is all about. Trust and believe that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they do. They don't care. They don't care about you. And they got to keep you mad and upset because at the end of the day, I always say, happy black people don't vote Democrat. So they got to keep you mad. They got to keep you angry. The white man's on my back. That's what keeps you voting for them. Happy, but because one thing I say about black conservatives, we happy. Them hoes ain't happy. Democrats ain't nothing happy about these hoes. These hoes is miserable all the time, every day. There's always a struggle.
Hey, it's just like that song say, them hoes ain't loyal.
Them hoes
okay?
is not happy
them
at
hoes
all.
aren't loyal.
I wake up every day and I thank God that I'm in a country and we have common sense back. Thank God we have a president who's actually putting the country first.
Thank you. So what you mean by having common sense back is that you ain't got to worry about a bitch putting on a cat suit or a turtle suit and crawling across the street talking about they are a turtle. If a guy say don't try that shit in Miami, because Miami people don't play that shit, they'll run your ass over. You gonna be a dead motherfucking turtle.
Oh, I miss Miami.
Trying that
I'll
shit
be right back.
in Miami. We don't play that. Okay? We don't play that shit here. But anyway, y'all, Benji just left the building. He just got out the car. But I want to thank all of my guests for today. I want to thank Travian for coming on. Y'all make sure you follow Travian. I want to thank Jake Lang for coming on and talking about the J6ers. He gave y'all the information. Make sure you go to his page so that you can keep up with everything. So that you can keep up with everything that he has going on. And also donate to the cause for the J6ers. Thank you. Happy T. Yeah, that's the link. Y'all donate to the J6ers. Let's help them out. These people fought for this country. Let's help them get back on track with their lives and everything. So I appreciate everybody joining in today to the Hood Conservative. Because you know one thing about me, I'm gonna bring you a different look at the news, and I'm gonna keep it very real and realistic for you. This is the Hood Conservative Podcast. When I'm gonna I love the grassroots. I love working grassroots. I love the boots on the ground. Because the boots on the ground gonna tell it like it is, okay? So okay, so anyway, thank you, Java. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Thank you for joining. And for the ones they had the negative comments that left that shit, you could have kept that shit to yourself because nobody gives a fuck about that. So in closing, I just want to thank I just want to thank everybody for joining in today. And y'all have a great, blessed day. And I'll see you next week. Same place, same time, 3 o'clock, right here on X, on the Laverne Spicer Hood Conservative Podcast. Y'all follow Travian, follow Jake Lane, follow Benji, even though I don't know when the fuck Benji went to. But anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next week right here on this station. Thank you very much for joining today. And see you next week, the same place, same time. Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm asking for your support today. Thousands of Americans struggle to get food, and they wonder where their next meal is going to come from. But I'm here, been working with them for over 25 years to provide food to people that need it the most, right here at our community food bank. So today, I'm asking you for your support. Please provide a contribution to help make a real difference in our community and to help us feed people. And you can do it right here. Donate today on Cash App, and you will see the link above.